Good afternoon and welcome to BBC Two.
This evening's lecture will be brought to you courtesy of Professor Tedward Skipperton, who appears to have got lost on his way to the lecture theatre. Good evening, Professor. I take it you'll be on your way to the theatre shortly? Thank you. Right. Hello. Welcome. Right. What we're going to talk about today is applying decals to your model. Decals, stickers, water slide transfers, these are the type of things. This is just an old set which I'm going to use for demonstration purposes today. This isn't about advanced modelling or anything like that. I'm just concentrating on what you need to do as a beginner to get your model looking brill. You've glued it together, you've painted it, you've done some detailing and things on it, but now you want to put the decals on it and having a look and making sure it's spot on. Right, you've probably heard of things like Microset and Microsol, but we're not going to bother with them just at the moment. This is just purely a basics, get your model open looking good type video. So what do we need? We don't need too much to worry about. What we do need, a main ingredient, is a small shallow dish of tepid water. This is just in an old takeaway type tub. You don't need a lot of water, just a small covering in the bottom. That's all we do, because the more water is, the more the water, the more you're going to splash it around and get it spilt everywhere. We need some cotton buds, Q-tips, depending on where in the world you are. These will be good for smoothing it out. I'll put them there. We'll need a craft knife for cutting the decals out, or you can use a fine pair of nice sharp pointy scissors. A paintbrush usually comes in handy as well. For you'll see smoothing things down, and a pair of tweezers. And for this example today, we're going to use an old model, one that never got completed. It was going to be a Lancaster bomber, but it never got that far, so we're going to use that as an example. And finally, we're going to need your decals. That's it. All right, so let's get going. Okay, I've cut this out. I've cut that with my craft knife. I've used a craft knife for this because I like doing it that way. I've cut it as close to the edge of the cross as possible, remembering to leave the white borders on. I've also left a little bit of a tag just on this end here. Whenever I cut a decal out, I like to do that just to leave a little bit that we can grip, get hold of, then we're not trying to chase it round in the bath all the time as it tries to float away from us. Then what I usually do, take the tweezers and just turn that little tab up a little bit, just turn it over, just so that when it's in the bath we can get a hold of it easier. Right, now the moment of truth, dunk it in the bath. Make sure it goes under and just leave it and watch and wait. Don't mess with it, just wait. And after a few moments, a minute or two, we can just use your paintbrush and just give it a touch just to see if it's moving. There, it's moved. Do not, whatever you do, let it float free from the backing paper, otherwise you'll chase it all around this bath and it'll fold up and it'll just become useless. So now we know that it's moving, it moves on the paper, we can take the bath out of the way and bring our model over and find out where on the model, looking in the instructions again, find out where it's going to go. So what I like to do is just put a thin film of water just where it's going to go, and then put the decal over the area, hold it with your paintbrush and slide the backing paper from underneath. Now this is where the Q-tips or the cotton buds come in. What we're going to do now is start and just touch and just roll the cotton bud, and just taking out any air, and the cotton bud will also dry off the water from the decal. And if you've got it in position, it should be right. There is a tiny touch, there's a tiny time when you can just touch it and move it around just to straighten it up, just for those last few minutes. And as you dry the water away, the decal will begin to stick to the surface. Now it's going to be all shiny because that's what decals are, but by the time that you've put your matte varnish over it or matte clear coat, it should just settle down nicely and will be suitable for showing off to everybody what a fantastic model you've made. And that's basically all there is to it. That's applying basics of applying decals. So I hope you found it helpful, and as I say, once you move on, you can go on to bigger and better things. You can get more formulas and stuff to make your decals softer, but that's perhaps time for another video. But until then, let's see you all again. Hope you found it useful, and thanks for watching. Bye now. Bye.
That brings us to the end of tonight's programmes from the Open University. The next scheduled module in this course will be listed in your course notes. Further information can be obtained by sending a stamped, self-addressed envelope to the Open University Department, BBC Television Centre, Wood Lane, London, W12 8QT, or calling 01 811 8055. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening, and please don't forget to switch off your set. Good night.